Hey, what's up? It's Scott. I wanted to make this quick video about the Boulder, Colorado tragedy. And it is just that. It is a tragedy. It is not an active shooting event. It is not something that happened where people died because of an active shooter. We have to understand the severity and the just tragic loss of life that happened. These are massacres. These are tragedies. These are incidents of murder on multiple levels. So when you hear on the media, active shooting event, or an active shooter is being apprehended at a location wherever, understand that shooting is not killing. Killing is killing. Some of the best training I ever received in law enforcement was by Lieutenant Colonel David Grossman. And he mentioned the fact and really changed my perspective on being aware of how we word things. Shooting is a sport. What these events are, what these incidents are murderous attacks. And I wish the media would label them as such, would speak as such. And when press conferences are held, speak to the severity and the realistic way that it happened. This fatal attack, this murder, this tragedy, this massacre, stuff like that, because it really hits home for the decent person. Active shooter is being used so much that we are actually becoming numb to that term and we don't pay as much attention. And when we don't pay as much attention, it can be easy for us to lose focus on who is important in these massacres. And it is not the killer, him or herself, or the killers themselves. No, unfortunately, that's who gets most media attention, and I am continuously outraged by that. The second the news knows who and how old they are, where they lived, what was their history, it's all over the place. We don't know really anything about the victims except from one article per news site that'll list their ages and their names and where they were from, maybe. That's all we know. Now, I understand sometimes victims' families want privacy, but still, you could probably name an active attacker, killer, murderer from past events more than you could an actual victim who died or who was severely hurt and wounded for the rest of their life, rather than someone who had tremendous long-term damage done to their life because they were a victim of a horrific incident. Now, one victim in particular that I want to talk about in this video, because after all, my channel is the Law Enforcement Motivation channel, is Police Officer Eric Talley from Boulder, Colorado Police Department. This man, who I never knew, is motivation at its finest. He left a six-figure job to pursue policing. Wow, talk about someone doing it for the right reasons, because he wanted to serve. He was 40 years old. He wanted to serve. He wanted to be a part of helping his community get better. That's what policing is all about, solving crimes and serving the public. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds corny, but with all the bad acts that are happening because of a few bad apple cops, people like Eric Talley are unfortunately only recognized whenever they commit the ultimate sacrifice that you as a police officer could be called upon at any given moment, because you respond when people call 911. Eric Talley is a hero in my opinion. He could have driven the other way. He literally could have driven the other way and said, "Today is the day I quit." He did not. He responded. He did his duty. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, Scott, police officers, if you're not in policing, you're probably thinking, Scott, police officers are supposed to go to emergency. Well, we remember what happened in Parkland, Florida, where those deputies that responded did nothing. And I don't know if they were told not to do anything. I think some of them were. But the SRO that was there should have done a heck of a lot more than doing nothing, which is exactly what he did. Nothing. So we have seen police officers not do what they were supposed to do in these mass attack situations. Eric Talley went into that grocery store. He answered the calling for his life at age 40. He answered the call to go in to stop a madman who was killing people, and sadly he lost his life, but there's no telling how many people he saved doing his job. And I pray wholeheartedly that his family is getting an overwhelming amount of support, overwhelming in a good way, just so much support from the community and the country, and heck, hopefully the people all across the world, as well as these other victims. Now, unfortunately, going forward, we have to be aware and ready, because denial is not a state that you can live in and survive in. These are going to happen again. And believe me, I hope I am wrong. But considering the reality we live in, what you can do is be aware, be ready, and train yourself. If you're comfortable with it, take a concealed carry class. Continuously practice with your firearm and bring it into the store in an effort to protect your family, as long as you're abiding by the law. If you're not comfortable with ever owning a gun or having a gun, then get trained with one and you will become more comfortable. But once again, it's your decision. If you do not want to do that, then have a pocket knife, pepper spray, understand what kind of weapons of opportunity are around you, or how you can take cover and concealment in a store or a restaurant or a school where you are. Know all your ways out. If you need to flee as quick as possible to save you and your family, just do something. Just do not, I beg you, do not assume that it can never happen in the city where you live. And if you're a police officer, we know that we have denial that can come over us as well. You stop 99 cars and nothing happens, and it's the 100th one where something does happen, and because you just figured it was going to be like all the other 99 and nothing can happen to me, then all of a sudden you're in the state of denial and your mind has to play catch up to react to the danger. Citizens, police, we're no different. Denial can affect all of us, so I beg you, don't be in denial. Do as much as you can to be ready, to be prepared, and have that mindset that you're just not going to panic. Have that mindset to fight back when you are in a life or death situation of being attacked. Have the mindset to protect yourself and your family, and it'll give you that much more a chance of survival. So once again, I can't stand how the media just says active shooter, active shooting. We are growing numb to this term, and it doesn't explain the severity of it, because it's actually not something that is going on, because shooting is a sport, just like Lieutenant Colonel Grossman told us at the law enforcement conference. And then I can't stand how the killers get more attention on the media. And then I must reiterate the name, Eric Talion, what he did for law enforcement. If you're a police officer watching this video, I'm telling you, he is the way we want to be. He is the kind of person we want to be. And I pray for his kids. I pray that they grow up to be honorable people, to honor him and the life that he lived. And then next, we have to be aware. We have to be ready. We cannot be in denial. This stuff, these attacks can happen anywhere at any time. So I hope this video was meaningful to you. I hope you learned something from it. If it was, please click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel if you have not, and turn that bell notification on. So when I come out with a new video, you will be notified about it. Take care of yourself, and may God bless.